Hello.
Hi guys. So,
We're trying to figure out why the social stream is not working, but
that's okay. We were hoping to chat with you, but
if it doesn't work out today, we'll definitely do a chat with you guys next week.
yeah.
And it's just not registering that we're live for some reason either yet.
Yeah.
But I think it'll register in a second. So we have some great topics for you guys today. So why don't you start off? Since both of our names are Anna's and we're both Russian born, and we were thinking about adding some Russian flavor to the show.
Yeah. So, we think we should do a Russian word of the week. So, every week we're going to teach you guys a new Russian word.
Yes.
And what's the word today, Anna?
The word today is privet. That
Privet.
means hello. So I would see Helinsky and I would be privet, Helinsky.
Привет, Anya.
Yeah, so
Very
actually in Russian, my name is Anya and her name's Nastya, and she doesn't like it because it kind of sounds like nasty.
Sounds kind of funky. Yeah. So I just go by Anna. So we're going to go use my American name. But
Yeah, and I used to, I didn't like Anya because when I first came here, people used to call me Onion. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go by Anna, and that's what it's going to be.
So, yeah.
So the Russian word of the day is privet, and so remember that, and we'll also, when we record the video and edit the video afterwards, we're going to have it on the bottom so you could learn. And our goal is that by the end of the next year, when we've been live for about a year, you'll be able to
say a couple Russian sentences.
Yeah, exactly. Just have like a little tiny conversation with a hot Russian girl you're trying to meet. So
That's true. Or you
that's
guys
the goal.
could eventually start calling in and chatting with us in Russian.
Yeah, so if
That'd be
there's
fun.
any Russian speakers out there, give us a call and we'll definitely chat with you in Russian and we'll answer some questions in Russian.
Sounds perfect. So we want to tell you guys a little bit about our new production studio that we're using here in San Francisco that have been very kind to us and let us.
Yes, BAM TV rocks.
Yeah. So they're letting us broadcast from BAM TV every Friday, and we got this amazing studio and this great production crew that we're working with, and they're fairly epic.
Yes.
Why don't you?
Well, I guess we could explain it together. It's a media company for bands.
Yeah, so they do a lot of work with bands where they bring them into the studio and do some live recording and some other really, really cool things. So if you're a band and want to find a cool production studio, get at us at Geeks Uncensored on Twitter or at BAM TV.
BAMM TV on Twitter or also on Facebook and their website. And if you have a band, just let us know and we could pitch your band.
Yeah.
Or if you like a band and you think that they should be on BAM TV, definitely let us know.
Yeah.
Because we love bands and music and I think it's a great concept.
Yeah. And I know we've done a music marketing session a few weeks back. We'll definitely do some more music marketing tips as the weeks roll by, so tune in for those.
Yes, because it's so much fun to do music marketing. Because
It
there's
is.
so much you can do with music nowadays online. It's crazy. So it's really exciting. It's fun to talk about.
So the next thing we wanted to talk to you guys about was FailCon, which we went and attended on last Monday.
Yes, and we're going to have actually footage for you out next week, I would imagine. We're
Yeah.
having it edited right now, and we wanted to tell you some personal failure stories.
That's true. But yeah, stay tuned for those interviews. We got some really great ones with speakers like Jay Adelson, who's probably one of my favorite
Yeah, he
people
was
in
so
the world.
sweet. He was just so positive, and it was a great message that he had, and he wasn't scared to admit his failures. And
Yeah, so
Walensky,
it's a
what's
lot.
your failure that you could share with us?
Okay, so let's talk about failure since we're talking about FailCon. I would say that one of my biggest failures as an entrepreneur, I know a lot of you know that I own a Facebook application development agency, and I've bootstrapped it for the last year and a half, which means I also do a lot of my own PR, a lot of my own marketing and biz dev. And basically, I'm kind of like a one-woman army, and I'm...
Yes, and you do a good job. She's a rock star.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm responsible for obviously getting my developers paid, and I care about them a lot. And I think one of the biggest mistakes I've made in the last year is that every time we launch a new Facebook application, no matter how amazing it's been, I've had a hard time getting myself to go out and get press for it. And it's all a matter of just, emailing TechCrunch or Mashable or Inside Facebook or allfacebook.com. But I've had some sort of like deterrent where I haven't been able to pull that trigger and just go out and realize that a lot of these blogs are actually going to write about the really cool stuff we're building. And so I've really held back. And so I think it's my resolution for the next year with my business is to really just, you know, send those emails. The worst they can do is not write about your stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, I think everybody's afraid of failure, and it's just sometimes you just have to go out there and fail hard and fail fast, and then you can just pick yourself up and start over and, you know, do it right the next time and then fail again and start over again.
Definitely. And I mean, I feel like if you really don't fail in your entrepreneurial
at least 5 times. I think somebody that we talked to said, like, you have to fail at least 5 times to succeed, like really succeed, not just like a small success, but really to have success inside. And what is success exactly? Like, we all measure success in different ways. So it's kind of, you have to figure out what success means to you first, and then you could push towards that success and fail on the way.
But you really do have to fail in order to be able to succeed.
Yeah, so, fail, people. Yeah, and so let's see. I have a lot of failure stories, and I guess the biggest one so far in the tech world, I have a lot of other ones before I got into tech. When I actually joined the tech community, or tried to join the tech community a couple years ago, it was almost 4 years now with Baseball Beauties. I had no idea what to do with websites. I had no idea what to do. I actually took a couple SEO classes. I took some HTML classes. So I knew a little bit about that, but I had no idea how to approach developers. I had no idea how to pitch the product. I had no idea how to put the website together. So wasted a lot of money actually on developers who would tell me the wrong stuff. They would, you know, they would lie to me, and, you know, I would pay money and just wasted a lot of money on it, on the website. And now it's at the point where, you know, I know what it should be, and I know how to position it correctly, and I know how to build the website and manage a community just from the experience and my failures along the way.
So what you're saying is you failed a bunch. You didn't do a lot of your dev research maybe that you should have done to kind of get yourself familiarized, but you learned from it, and now you're doing great.
Yeah, and now I could, you know, like, I'm starting new businesses. We're doing new exciting things. It's really, you know, once you fail, it's easier just to move on and to fail again. And I'm not afraid of failure. Yeah. You know, I think we're probably going to fail together at some point, and that's going to be okay. And we're also going to do shots when we fail. That's what we're gonna.
Oh yeah, if you guys ever want to come on the show and do a shot with us, feel free to.
Yeah, we're gonna every time we're gonna interview somebody, we're gonna make them take a shot in the beginning of the show and also at the end. So be prepared.
We might also have to take them home afterwards, so we'll have to figure out the logistics. But if
I don't know if we can do actual shots in the studio. We have to figure it out. But that would be pretty awesome if we could do that, just to loosen people up, because a lot of people get really nervous.
Yeah,
before interviews. I mean, we're nervous too. This is our first time here, and we're pretty nervous. But we're, you know, we didn't take shots though.
I'm blushing. I'm totally blushing right now. But let's get back to failure. I know one of the kind of crappier things that have happened in the Valley this week is there are a couple major companies that had some pretty significant layoffs.
Yes, and one of them is actually Dig, which we really like Dig, and we think it's a great concept. But they've kind of just been struggling for the last year since they rolled out their new platform. It's just kind of what they thought it was going to be.
Their redesign didn't go as well as they were hoping, as I'm sure most of you know. So they just laid off how many people this week? About
25. Okay. Yeah, 25 people. They had 67 people, and now they have 42 people, and that's significant. Yeah. That's a big chunk of it's what, like 1/3.
Yeah, so that's a lot of people, and I know that their plan is to kind of really just buckle down and focus in on product and
just kind of a startup mode again. And sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you just expand too quickly and you just get too large and you have to shrink again. And, you know, I think it's going to be good for them because they can reproduct their, you know, they can rebuild their product, and I think it's going to be way better the second and third time around, and that's okay.
I definitely feel for those people that got laid off. The startup world is definitely a little harsh sometimes.
Yeah, and it seems like right now, like right before the holidays, it's always like really
it's tough.
Yeah.
But I know another company that had you know, more minor layoffs this week was our dear partners who we love so much, Ustream. They laid off, I believe it was
10%.
9 or 10 people this week, and I know that's been really difficult as well, and they're kind of in a progressive state of reorganizing and really just trying to get back on track, which, I mean, kudos to them for making these hard decisions, because I know they're really difficult.
Yeah, I mean, how do you even pick the people, you know, if you have a small team, even 67, it's pretty small, you know, everybody personally is just really hard. Like, how do you pick the people that you're going to lay off? Like, what if everybody's trying really hard?
Yeah.
It's just hard. And then you said something about the Dig CEO.
Yeah, so I kind of heard this through the grapevine. I actually didn't read it myself, so I apologize if I misspeak a bit. But I heard that the CEO of Dig actually took a personal interest in the people that they did have to lay off, and told them that he was going to help them all find jobs, which is pretty freaking cool.
That's an awesome thing to
go
do.
Dig. That's fairly awesome of you.
Yes.
So I think we should also probably mention our good friend Cassidy,
yeah, she's Cassidy Phillips. She's the one who started the FailCon.
Yeah.
And just because she had so many personal failures, and this is her second year, and it was great. I think she said she had 450 people there, and everybody shared their stories, and it was a great success. And she got a lot of press. We just wanted to just say hello and thank you, Cassidy, for letting us live stream from your show and do interviews.
Congratulations on how well FailCon's doing. I know that one of her plans is to try to take it worldwide. So.
Yeah, so if you guys know anybody, that would be interested in doing something like that in Europe, or I think she was talking about Japan or Asia, that would be great because everybody has failure stories. I think that's a really great way to look at it because the economy is down, and just like looking at it more as like failing to succeed rather than just like succeeding and never failing, and if you fail, like, your world's gonna end.
And I know both of us go to a lot of conferences, right? And so I really enjoy going to events like that, and you're put in the situation where you're watching these amazing speakers talk to you about how to be successful, right? Like, I just went to Startup School 2 weeks ago, and it was an amazing experience.
Yes.
I got to watch some great, just amazing founders tell their stories. Like, I think one of my favorite speakers there was the founder of Airbnb, which is actually a company I really, really just enjoy because I use them all the time because I travel with my dog.
Yeah, because you told me about them.
And it was just really, really inspirational. But with a situation like FailCon, you are put in a comfortable situation to talk about
your failures, and you're not scared because all these people are succeeding, and like you're like, I'm scared to talk about my failures, and like you have to share that, and you have to talk through it, and you have to get good advice and just move on and do it better next time. And we also wanted to mention Cassidy and Brian Zisk because we are going to be streaming live from SF Music Tech, and also BAM TV is going to be there as well. So we actually might partner up with them and stream with them from the conference, and we just wanted to it's December 6th. It's a Monday again, and I think that's a great way to start the week.
Definitely
have a conference on a Monday just because not many people do it, and just kind of like a good way, a positive way to start the week.
And I would just highly recommend SF Music Tech in general. I've gone to the last 2 or 3, and they've just been amazing events.
And that's where I met Holinsky.
That's true. So, they're kind of responsible for what we have going on right now. So thanks, SF Music Tech.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to it. It's at SF Music Tech and at FailCon, so definitely follow them. And I think Cassidy also, she always shares great information on her feed.
True. About
failures and all kinds of events, and she does a lot of great events, so we just wanted to say hello.
I know she also does something called Fail Chat.
Fail Chat, that happens every couple months, and I think she said the next one's going to be in January or something like that, so definitely check that out.
We'll be sharing that information on our Facebook and our Twitter and our website.
And our website. We're working on a better website, by the way. If you guys think our website sucks, we're going to have a better one for you coming out soon.
So keep an eye out on that. So what else would you like to talk about?
Well, we wanted to talk about Facebook. There's a big story that broke, and this is an exciting story that we should definitely talk about.